What's going on, people? So this right here, side of the box and whatnot, very much like the pair of shoes I just recorded a review of right over here. Only difference being the color, right? But I mean, I feel like you could tell that. I think even Stevie Wonder could tell that. I was reading a thing the other day about how people are like, oh, I don't think he's really blind. Like, well, he's blind legally. Just it's not like it's just pure black. You know, I guess he can make out shapes and stuff. I don't know why I was reading that, but I was. I don't even know why I'm bringing that. Oh yeah, because I was talking about the difference. Either way, let's get back on track, huh? These videos, I tend to get derailed by thinking about random stuff, and then because I'm talking, I feel like I need to say these random things that I'm thinking. Happens a lot. If you've watched enough of these videos, you already knew that. But either way, that's also why there are timestamps, so you can switch through or skip through to the piece that you actually need, you know, because put up a video that lasts X number of minutes, it's probably like 1 to 2 minutes that you actually need, and then there's just like the rest of the video. So anyways, like I said, you saw the side of the box, but I'm going to read off some things real quick for you. This right here is the Nike Air Max DN in black and some other color, smoke gray or something like that. I don't know. To me, it's just black and purple and pink. We're going to start this thing with the bottom. Down there, what you're looking at is very much the same style outsole you saw on other things, right? So I actually kind of like it a little bit more over here, but again, I like the black and the pink colorway. Kind of reminds me like a Bret Hart sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? So either way, moving on past that, up to the midsole and whatnot. This right here, what you're looking at is a look that is not for everybody. I get that, but it is what it is, people. It is what it is. And then, like I said in the last video, as you look behind here, behind these bubbles and stuff, it has this sort of like a tire thing going on. Like, I don't know about all that. I've seen that look on some other shoes. I think some New Balances, and I thought, well, those can go right in the trash. But on here, it seems like it's not as terrible. Maybe it's because I'm an Air Max guy and I'm just a little biased. I let more things slide. I don't know. Looking at this from some other angles and whatnot, giving you all that stuff so you can look down on it and be like, oh my, right? Because it's not for everybody, this visual. Somebody was just saying that in the comments of the live I was doing. I totally get it, right? It is not for everybody. And there's also not a lot to even say about this because this pair is like very bland in some ways, right? From the top anyways. There's some other colors slipped in there, but overall it's not a lot to say. That's why I let the pictures do the talking sometimes. Now, let's get in here. I'll hit some highlights or whatever through this. Probably won't dwell on it too much, but down here in like this upper region, right? Because I was going to say toe box, but like it's all kind of the same. First off, the feeling on here, I do not like it. All these little lines and whatnot, they're kind of rubbery feeling, so it makes it feel all like, you know, like those non-slip surfaces that you put on things or something. I don't know. It just feels weird. It's not like I'm going to be touching these while I'm wearing them, so it doesn't matter a whole lot. It's just like, it's there, and I know it's there, and I know I don't like it, so it makes me a little sad on the inside. I don't know. But either way, behind that, moving on, got sort of a mesh sort of thing, kind of the same material that you see on a lot of other stuff, but there is that. It's not as stretchy as like the material on like other Air Maxes, like the Vapor Maxes and stuff, that have like the Flyknit. I had to think PrimeKnit or Flyknit, the Flyknit or other stuff, you know. So know that going into it, it's not a problem. I'm just saying if you're expecting super stretchy, expect to be disappointed. And then down here on the side, you have what feels like some sort of like water resistant type material, like this little layer of plasticky stuff that they put on things, you know. Moving on to the middle area, you got like the Nike swoosh. That's going to be on both sides. What isn't on both sides is what you see on the bubble here. So on this bubble, it's got, what is it, Air Max DN, right? Kind of like the whole Air TN sort of thing in a way. So you got that happening here. And moving along to the back end again, you have it back there as well, right? So you got a little Air Max DN. And that's a cool design that they have around it. I do like that a lot. And then moving back over to the tongue here, right? The front piece where the laces are. One thing about these laces, if you don't like them and you want to put in some 3M laces, they did come with that, so that's pretty nice. The pair over here, the Volt pair, nah, they did not, which is unfortunate, though it makes sense, because if I had to choose, I feel like 3M would look better over here than it would over there. That's bright enough as is, right? So, the laces though, like I was saying, these are going to be like your standard kind of laces. They're mostly round all the way around. They're not completely, but unlike the Air Max Pluses and stuff where you can kind of tell that it's like a little flatter, These don't have that same look completely, but it is largely the same. Behind there, standard mesh, and then at the top of the tongue, you have the same thing you had on the back end, and then on the bubble and whatnot, and also on the inside too, but we'll say that in a second. So that Air Max TN thing, right? And it's kind of like a weird little illusion in there, right? You know? So I like that. It just kind of makes it look like these dots are like farther away than they actually are. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on there, but it's a cool look. Let's go ahead and look at the inside, which isn't super cool because it's very much super plain. Down there, you got the same thing you had on the back and on the bubble and on the front, right? So at this point, you're probably like, I've seen that logo enough. I'm good, right? Which is good because we're done seeing it. The other thing about that you probably saw is that it's all blacked out in there. So nothing's particularly fancy about it, but it's a thing that makes sense. So that being that, we can move on and you can talk about personal thoughts and then sizing, because that's how these videos are structured. Personally, right? These are still pretty cool in my opinion. Like I said, I saw them first and I was totally on board with them because it's a color combination that I'm into, right? But then I saw the Volt pair and I was like, well, if I could only get one, the Volt pair. So when I was on that train to Philadelphia for those TNA TV tapings, I focused on the Volt pair first, and then I went over to Finish Line and picked up this pair because I think it had sold out by the time. Well, no, it didn't sell out. It's just that Finish Line had a sale I could use, and they didn't have the Volt pair. Otherwise, I would have bought them both from Finish Line. But either way, saved a little bit of money, and even if I had to buy them at full retail like the Volt pair, I would have been fine with it because I like them enough, right? Again, that whole dumb feeling on the top with all these lines and stuff, not a huge fan of it. But the overall visual colorway wise, I'm cool with, right? So that is what I'm talking about. Is it going to be for everybody? Obviously not. Nothing is. That's why stuff comes in different flavors, right? So if you're looking for a comfortable pair of shoes and you're thinking like, man, I don't know if I like these, so what? There's like a million other shoes. Just go pick one, you know? It doesn't matter. It really does not matter. It's not that serious. But to me, I look at these and I think, okay, it's not visually appalling or anything like that, you know? It's not offending my senses in any sort of way other than the touch. So I'm cool with it. Maybe you'll be cool with it too. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people seemingly were because these sold like strangely well. Normally when I see like new Air Max models, they're like, oh, here's a new model and here's two colors that are like decent, but like not great. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll wait. No, this time around they did all right for themselves. Hopefully they bring out more colors later because I feel like this has potential. Let's talk about some sizing and stuff, right? I've done a lot of rambling here. Sizing wise, right? I bought these in a 9.5 because that's the size that I buy in all my shoes for the most part, right? Minus like certain things. But these right here, like many other Air Maxes, were a nice true to size fit. They did exactly what I expected them to. One thing that I forgot to mention in that Volt video is that this upper piece around like the ankle, right? That, it's a little rigid. It's probably going to break in over time, but just out of the box, I did not like it. So just know that, right? I hope it's going to break in over time, and generally does on other stuff. There have been a few cases where it didn't, but again, it's a thing that I feel like is worth saying. But either way, getting back to where I was going with this, the true to size thing, it's working out for me, right? It's going to work out for you, perhaps, I don't know. I always suggest to watch a lot of videos, or at least the sizing portion of those videos, and see what other people are saying. But for me, I'm good with this, and if I buy another pair, I'll do the exact same thing. Actually, you know what? I did buy 2 pairs, so it worked out 2 times, and that's good enough for me. Now, as far as walking around in these, right? It's an Air Max, right? I didn't find it to be like the most comfortable thing I've ever walked around in. There's some things I put on, like the Kayano 14. I put that on and I'm like, wow, this is really nice. I had those Dizygotics on the other day. I'm like, wow, this is really nice. These are fine, right? They're not run out and buy these to replace all your current shoes fine, but they'll get the job done, right? And given the way the upper is, as far as material wise goes, it's pretty breathable, right? Summer's coming around, spring is already here and stuff, you know, that's kind of how things work, I suppose. So if you're going to be outdoors and stuff, right, and you don't want your feet being all hot, this is definitely something to consider. Maybe when the price drops a little bit, because I, again, don't see paying retail for them, even though I did, but that's another story. So all in all, these are feeling pretty all right. I think it's going to be a good shoe wearing experience if you're looking for a good shoe wearing experience. Is it the best one? No, right? But that's purely up to opinions and stuff. If you want to know what the best shoe to wear is, ask yourself. I'm not going to be able to tell you that answer now, am I? Because we're different people. So, that's everything, isn't it, for these two? I got one more video to do, and then I can move on with my day and be free of this. From me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night. Whatever it is, wherever you are. Going to talk about these right here, some VaporMax 2023s, and that'll be it. Actually, no, it's not, because then I got to do a live about Air Max month or something. Then it'll be it. But whatever. Later, people.